Live from New York, it's the show that has two naughty little children in the audience today. It's first things first.
Here.
Today, should the Cowboys have a package for Trey to get him on the field?
At some point this year, absolutely. There's no reason not to. There is no reason not to use a potential added wrinkle, something other teams have to prepare for, and to keep Dak Prescott as clean as you possibly can. By the way, the San Francisco 49ers had a package for Trey by week one his rookie year. And he threw a touchdown, his first play. And his second play, he ran for a touchdown. So, like, the idea that you're going to have a guy who is, I understand he's not one of the highest paid, top 10 highest paid guys on your team, but he is one of the 20 highest paid guys, making $5 million guaranteed next year. You spent a fourth-round pick on him. To do that and to just be like, but there's no chance he sees the field in any capacity when he's 23 years old and was a consensus first-round pick, that would be foolish. Now, should he be competing with Dak Prescott? Of course not. Could they find a package to use his unique run-pass ability? Why would they not do that? Why would you deprive yourself of that? And why would you let other teams off the hook to where, all right, we do have to prepare, spend a few minutes during the week when the Cowboys are coming up for what we do if they're in that goal line package that has Trey Lance? What's the downside to it?
No, 1,000 times
Why?
no. This is a horrible idea. No franchise quarterback worth his salt wants to go out of the game during meaningful playing time and have his backup come in and play.
Tell that to
no
Drew
one.
Brees.
Yeah, Drew Brees did it because he was 40.
No, they did
Drew
it before
Brees
he was 40.
Oh, 39. My
They
bad.
did it was
39.
38.
Taysom Hill did it. He was
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
I'm seriously. The only quarterbacks that want to put up with that are dudes that are mediocre. So Jimmy G, as much as I love him, he was mediocre. All right, Jimmy G was fine with it because I'm just a decent quarterback,
Sure.
and there's not that much of a gap between you and the guy behind you. Or Drew Brees at the end of his career, 38, 39, 40 years old plus.
But Drew
That's
Brees
it.
was still an MVP candidate.
No other he was old, though.
But do you
he
think-
had taken a ton of hits. He was limited. So I'm telling you, if you're a starting quarterback, especially if you're a franchise quarterback, there is no way I want to come out of the game for a package for this guy. And I think when you have a package, it often makes you predictable. Because you know Trey Lance coming in, more likely they're going to run or run some type of action that might be like that.
Taysom Hill's going to run the ball, guys, and he would run it
Taysom
40
Hill
yards.
was pretty good
And
at it.
also-
It worked. But again, I don't think. You think there's noise now?
I
think
care
it's
about noise.
foolish noise, but there's noise now about, Trey Lance is here to take Dak's job. Wait till you start bringing him in for a package.
Well,
ideally, Nick, for the Cowboys, if everything goes right for them this year, you won't even see Trey Lance at all. Unless it's a 35-point blowout and he's in the fourth quarter.
They lost their goal line back in Zeke. This is a 23-year-old that, again, people have asked me, why am I so high on Trey? It's not that I'm high on Trey. It is that I actually, and I did it this morning, but I had previously as well, have watched, because it's very easy, every play of his career.
No.
And so can I just tell the audience?
7 of them?
No, but hold on, let's talk about it, because he's played in 7 games, okay? Game 1, rookie year. 1 throw, 5 yards, touchdown. That's the extent of his action.
Sure.
Bro, I'm going to ask you to listen to this with an open mind.
I'm listening.
Game 3 of his rookie year. 1 play, 1 rush, 1 touchdown. Whatever. Game 4 of his rookie year, the third time he played, he comes in at halftime. He goes 9 of 18 for 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and runs 7 times for 41 yards. That's pretty good.
Sure.
In a guy coming in without prep for an injured Jimmy Garoppolo. Game 4 of his career. He starts the next week, plays poorly. He's 15 of 29, 190 yards, but 0 touchdowns a pick. Runs the ball 16 for 89, but that's fine. Then does not play again until week 17. In week 17, he's excellent. He's 16 of 23, has 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and runs the ball for 30 yards. That's the end of his rookie season. The next year, he starts week 1, and he was 13 of 28 for 160 in the rainstorm. By the way, Justin Fields, who is some people's actual dark horse MVP, in the same game from the same draft class, was 8 of 17 for 121. And the next game, he broke his leg. So what evidence do we have that he is not the guy that was a consensus first-round pick? What evidence do we have?
Brock Purdy came in and played better.
No.
Because I could show you a graphic. We had it for the other day. I don't know if Dusty can round it up. He only played, like you said, limited action. Mm-hmm. But Brock Purdy was in limited action and played much better, far better. Now, the thing is this. Even if I'm not out on Trey Lance, he might be something later on in his career. The Cowboys didn't get him to help him this year. I don't think that's. Well, one, Jerry Jones said it. But beyond that, I don't think they need Trey Lance. If they need Trey Lance to come in and save the day, then Dak Prescott is not the guy he's supposed to be. Not even close. A top 10 quarterback, I'm guarantee you, Nick, he don't want Trey Lance coming in and running a package.
Wildes, who have I advocated the Kansas City Chiefs sign the last 2 years?
I get it. Cam Newton.
Have they done it?
No.
But you never run the ball.
What?
But you don't let Mahomes run the ball.
Correct. And Dak Prescott, since he got his leg snapped in half running the ball, does not run it as often. And we think that hurts
but
him.
Is there a package?
What?
For somebody, Chad Henne, does he have a package?
No, because the Chiefs don't have that player on the roster.
Well, they could go get Cam and they don't want
to. You have direct snaps to Kelsey.
We have direct snaps to the tight end. We have
different
stuff. The point that I'm trying to make is, this is you're saying that no top 10 quarterback would ever do it, while glossing over the fact that Drew Brees was an MVP candidate.
That's a different circumstance.
He was old, but that is his age was not why they used Taysom Hill. It was not trying to save Drew Brees from anything. But he was an MVP candidate when they signed Taysom Hill.
Why don't more teams do it?
There aren't a lot of these guys available. What do you mean, why don't more teams do it? What are we saying?
A guy that's athletic, can run the ball, can throw it a little bit. There's a lot of guys out there that you could go get. Cam Newton, who you've mentioned, teams could go get for a goal line package. A starting quarterback who can play, barring a Drew Brees who's old. And I think that is a huge factor. If I'm in my late 30s, that's fine. But if I'm in the prime of my career, Dak is 30 years old. He does not win. I don't blame him. I'm the quarterback. I can run it. I can throw it. I can run the team the whole game, period.
To Bruce's point, if in your scenario, everything's coming up roses, you give the ball to Trey Lance, he throws a touchdown, Dak doesn't mind that those stats go to Trey Lance and it's coming up with a contract. I'm just saying.
They do mind. They're human.
What happens if it goes wrong? Trey Lance gets the ball, fumbles it. You think Dak Prescott's going to be asked after the game, hey, man, Trey had the ball at the goal line and fumbled. Do you wish you were out there?
Hold on a second.
It's not going to go rosy for every time you put him in the game.
But it doesn't go rosy with any play ever. We've seen the New England Patriots in multiple Super Bowls have wide receivers throw passes.
Yeah.
One of them to Tom Brady. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We see guys do outside of the box things. We saw the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game lightly unveil a lateral package.
Yeah,
there are things, and that could have gone totally sideways. Of course, there is risk involved. My point is very, very simple. You have a player who is 23 years old, who the entire league looked at as a legit blue chipper. Maybe not the third overall pick, but it was read any draft profile, read any of it. He was considered a consensus first rounder. You have now made the active choice, when you are a Super Bowl contender, to, according to the Niners, blow everyone else out of the market in trading for him. To do that and then simply say, no chance you touch the field this year, would be foolish.
I've got a Dak Prescott at quarterback. Why do I need to bring in another quarterback?
Why did they trade for him?
I think for the future. Because he's a talented guy. We can get him for a fourth-round pick. Let's see. Okay. That's it.
All right, let's take a look at MVP odds. Mahomes at 1, then it's Burrow. Josh Allen's still at number 3. Jalen Hurts, Herbert, Lamar.
Oh, good job. Great job, Rick.
That's just unnecessary, though.
What do you mean?
It's just a full screen.
What do you
Rodgers, Justin Fields was 5-20 in his career.
Yeah.
Dak, then Tua. Bruins prediction week. As a little bonus prediction, are you willing to call Dak a dark horse MVP?
Well, look, despite Nick mocking me, my dark horse MVP record I'm proud of.
Really?
Because Jameis Winston was right there until he got hurt. And they were 5-2. I think 14 touchdowns, 3 picks. Nice numbers. All right. And then Tua led the league in almost everything until he got hurt.
Are you sure it wasn't Russell Wilson last year?
Yeah, it wasn't Russell Wilson.
Who was it?
You keep putting it was Tua.
It was Tua.
Okay, it was Tua. This look. I'll unveil my actual dark horse pick at the end of this, my little spiel.
Oh.
But right now, I'll say dark. I'll say Dak is a dark horse candidate.
No, you
but
don't.
not the.
Not the.
Okay.
That's pretty close, that list. Other than I wouldn't have Justin Fields.
You don't.
Justin Fields is a real, like, dark horse candidate, right? If you want to throw that out. But the narrative is there. Nick, you think the Cowboys are going to have a great year. You got to win in the division. And if they win 13 or 14 games.
Of course.
I mean, come on.
Just doing
Why
that.
do you say, come on? They
not
won
gonna
12 last year.
Right.
They won 12
with that
last year.
Cooper Rush won
I'm
it,
not
yeah.
saying it's definitely how. I'm just saying, humor me. If they win 13 or 14 games and Dak goes back to 2021, 37 touchdowns, 10 picks, doesn't have the numbers of Mahomes and Allen or guys like, but the numbers are good. He'll be in the
Of course. I don't think he is a dark horse. I think he's a legit candidate. I just just real quick before I give my answer.
My real
well, two things. One is if he were to be MVP, is he elite then?
No.
Okay.
Was Rich Gannon ever elite?
Okay.
Oh my God!
Don't start. Please, you're going off.
Oh, hold on.
20 years.
I'm bringing
20
facts.
years back.
I'm
I know we
bringing facts.
can't do Rich Gannon and then Jameis. We're
yeah,
way
it's
off.
Too much
Rich
going on.
Gannon
Before
was
I
an
give my
MVP.
answer, before I give my answer, who is your dark horse?
No, he's
The
not.
number one dark horse. And a dark horse means I don't think they're going to win it, but
We
they're
understand.
not. Derek Carr.
Okay.
Wow, I like that.
He's had a top 10 defense. How many times in his career? I know
Zero.
you know. Zero.
Yeah.
He hadn't even had a top 19
He's
defense.
had a top 10 arms 0 times and a top 19 arms 0 times.
Look, if he throws for $4,000 and they
so
win
here,
games,
I think Dak
he got a chance.
has the third best chance to win the MVP. I think it's Mahomes,
Yep.
Trevor, Dak. Those should be because the point Brew made and all the gobbledygook that you heard the last few minutes, the most important one was to win MVP, your team's got to win at least 12 games, usually more. The last few MVPs, the team wins are 14, 13, 13, 14, 12 for Mahomes when he set all those records, 13, 11 for Matt Ryan, that's the outlier, 15 for Cam, 12 for Rodgers. Like you've got, and so when I look at the other people on this list, if we were to put the odds up, I don't think anyone from the AFC North is going to have a monster record because it's just going to be, I think the Bengals, Ravens, Steelers are all going to beat each other up. I do not think the Bills are going to go from team worst vibes, weirdest offseason to Josh Allen having the best year of his career. Jalen Hurts, if I'm wrong about the Eagles regressing, I lost both coordinators, worried about the safety loss, that stuff. Jalen could be a legit candidate, but I think the Eagles are going to be closer to 10 wins than 13 wins. So I think Trevor and the Jags are going to have a monster year, and I think he's going to have monster stats because the defense isn't that good. Mm-hmm. And I think the Cowboys are going to be a 13-win team in the 1 seed, so then he will definitely be near the top of the MVP discussion.
So Josh and I were out here grinding. If you think Dak can lead the league in touchdowns, then you think he can be the MVP.
Yeah.
If you don't think he can lead the league in touchdowns, he's not the MVP.
I don't think he can lead the league. You think he can lead the league?
So look at this, bro. 4 out of the last 5 MVPs. Just straight up look at the past touchdowns leaders. They're your MVP, except 1 year when Rodgers threw, it was Rodgers and Brady. That Brady had more touchdowns, but Rodgers had 3 interceptions. So I think the Cowboys like to run the ball. They ran the ball 10th most in the NFL last year. So they're going to run too much. Dak's going to be okay, but he's not going to throw 40 touchdowns.
Well, I agree. I don't think Dak will lead the league in touchdowns.
He's not my pick to lead the league in touchdowns, and to be clear, he's not my pick to win MVP. It's going to be hard to win MVP when a guy goes 20-0, but
He doesn't know about Chris Jones.
And so the defense. The Chiefs have leaned on the defense a lot the last 5 years.
Chris Jones doesn't matter.
And so listen,
Andy
but I
Reid
think
said
Dak should be. I don't think he has to lead the league in touchdown passes to win MVP. If the Cowboys are the 1 seed, when the Cowboys were the 1 seed his rookie year, as a rookie, he got MVP votes. So and Matt Ryan ended up winning it that year with that amazing.
That's another one.
Offense.
Matt Ryan.
What?
Was he elite?
Matt Ryan?
Was he elite?
The year he won the MVP, they had
for
the
1 year,
highest scoring offense ever, and they went to the Super Bowl. Yeah,
okay, maybe one time that could be elite.
7 topics in 1 segment.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.